We're talking sports. It's time for the Saturday Sports Countdown with Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, and Luke Robinson. Auburn, Alabama, around the SEC, and around the nation. This is the Saturday Sports Countdown. To be a part of the program, call 256-234-6221. Now, let's join Brett, Randy, and Luke for the Saturday Sports Countdown.
Hello again, everyone, and good Saturday morning. Welcome into the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. I am apparently your guest host, Andy Graham, alongside Randy Lee. We'll be with you until 9 o'clock this morning, taking your phone calls, discussing everything going on in the world of sports. 256-234-6221 if you'd like to join in the program, be a part of it. Give us a call. Let us know what's on your mind today. Let us know what you think about the topics revolving around the world of sports. Of course, we are 3 weeks away from meaningful college football. That would be 3 weeks from today, we'll be preparing for kickoff. Auburn taking on Georgia Southern in Jordan-Hare Stadium, and Alabama getting ready to take on Florida State in Atlanta in the Chick-fil-A Kickoff Classic. I know everyone's certainly looking forward to those games. Of course, high school football about to get underway as well. I think the first game, maybe August 24th, maybe that Thursday. Benjamin Russell is going to play a jamboree the 25th. That one will not count, right?
That's correct.
Okay. They will travel to Stanhope, though. Mm-hmm. How does that work? Are they going to play a half or starters, or do you think they'll play the whole game? How's that work?
No, more than likely they'll play most of the players that have a potential to see them play in time. They'll take it somewhat serious, but you'll get your starters out fairly quick. But just for a brief update, got 11 weeks to play 10. Mm-hmm. Started that, if not last year, the year before, which means there are many games that are going on the 25th that count, Andy.
Dave will be in one of them, right?
I think so. And then you can take an off week mid-season. You can take an off week at the end of the season leading into the playoffs the week before. So you take your choice. Benjamin Russell making that decision to take it at the beginning. And then roll out the next 10 weeks. Brett and I will be on the road on that Friday night covering the Champions Challenge. And I remember last year, which there's 2 Champions Challenge games, one on the 24th, one on the 25th. We had games last year that didn't count, and then we had one that did. So it's still your choice, 11 weeks to play 10 and count those 10.
That's interesting that, it seems like they would choose teams that would count in the Champions Challenge.
I don't know if it's because, they set this schedule up. I don't know if it's a whole year in advance. So some teams may already have their schedule in place. So they don't have that open week, or they don't need that open date to fill in the schedule. So that's my guess. That's what I'm going to stick with, Andy.
Ben Russell last year, though, took the bye at the end of the season?
That's right.
Okay.
And
which do you like better, or which do you think is
more
advantageous?
I think it depends on the coach and depends on his feeling about having an off week and maybe losing a little bit of that fire going into the playoffs, or lose a little bit of steam if you're playing well towards the end of the season. Then others would say, let's get healed up, let's get rested up, let's take a week off. We need it by that time of year. So I think it's more of a coach feel, and it's every season. You never know what you're going to get. I've had years where you've seen teams that just fall apart. Offensive lines, defensive lines, in high school sports, you're not as deep. You don't have the luxury of going out there and make sure that you got 1 or 2 good backups for your tackle. Your tackle goes down, you're probably nowhere near as good as you would have been with him. And there's just those years that you have injury bugs hit you. And so I think that it goes from year to year too, Andy.
PGA Championship going on right now at Quail Hollow, North Carolina, right? Charlotte.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good. Could be, could not. But it is Quail Hollow. Kind of eating up the players a little bit right now. What did Sergio Garcia finished?
He plus 11.
Plus 11?
Yeah.
Wow. Phil Mickelson was 11 over.
No, it was Phil that was at 11, and then Sergio finished at 8.
8 over. Spieth at 3 over. The leader at -8. So those players under par right now have played significantly better than the field. Matsuyama, who has been extremely hot, tied for the lead.
Yeah, tied for the lead, shot a 64, 8 under. Did not hit a putt outside of 8 feet all day yesterday.
Wow.
Shoot 8 under
Seeker.
and didn't have to do much with the putter. I'm not saying that knocking in a 7-footer is not impressive, but no putts hit from outside of 8 feet and to shoot 8 under. That means you are sticking close all day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but that'll continue moving day at Quail Hollow. We'll kind of talk about that a little bit as we move on. There's some interesting stories on Saturday Down South as always this past week. One of them was the most underrated and most overrated college football coaches and this is actually the interesting thing about this is it's voted on by their peers. There was you love these anonymous polls, but there was an anonymous poll of all the college football coaches. I think they talked to about a fifth of them, or maybe this was the one they talked to all of them. And it's an interesting list. We'll talk about who all's on that list. Only about 5 names, and then the rest they kind of generic. About 48% of the coaches chose not to answer that question. Not surprising. I wouldn't want to throw my colleague under the bus unless, they deserved it.
Well, it's like the other coaches' polls. Is it the actual coach making the decision? Are they stopping long enough in their scheduling and to sit there at their desk and vote on these polls that they have to care completely less about at this point in time in the season? So I wouldn't read too much into it, but I do love Saturday Down South. I love these polls. I love these questions. Doesn't mean that you always agree or disagree with them, but we've got a few more weeks before the season starts. We need something to talk about, and we're no different than many, many other programs out there or many water cooler talks out there. So the more the merrier for me.
And we can't leave anything alone. It doesn't really matter. I mean, you go along up and down the spectrum. Something's either overrated or it's underrated. Nothing can be right. It's, everybody's got an opinion. Either you talk about it too much, it gets too much credit, or not enough, one or the other.
Well,
is there anything that's properly rated?
No, because we would disagree with it.
That's true.
And that's society that we live in, and I'd rather live here than anywhere else. So let's debate something. There's a very, very solid chance that myself and Luke will disagree with a lot.
That's true.
And I think that's the fun part of sports. It brings your biases in on conversations like this. I mean, an Alabama fan's going to become very defensive when they sit down and they read that many of his peers feel like Nick Saban's overrated. I mean, come on. I could sit here as an Auburn fan and say, even as an Auburn fan, that's got to be the most ludicrous thing I've ever read or thought of, because in my mind, though, living in the South, living in Alabama, I know of Alabama for a long stretch where they weren't the best. They were not what this thing is that he's created right now.
Not even close.
So how in the world now if he came into a program like Pete Carroll had in USC and he continued that on, because that's about the only thing I can compare to what Alabama's doing right now is that run USC had where they were, if they weren't winning a national title, they were right there in the hunt every year. You were shocked mid-season when they lost a game to Oregon State. He didn't take anything like that over.
No. It was Mike Shula.
Yeah.
Mike Price. Mike Dubose. It was
there were good days.
Yeah.
There used to be good days.
Yeah. It's a fun time.
Let's hope there's some fun times to come.
Maybe so.
It's going to take a retirement for them to come. But.
Yeah. Well, these things tend to blow up. And we need a Hugh Freeze situation. According to college coaches, most of the cheating going on in college football is done in the SEC. Another anonymous poll here. Here's the headline of it, and we'll talk about this a little bit later in the show, but knowingly cheat. They're talking about past secondary violations. Coaches said this was a poll of, I think, 1/5 of all head coaches. And they said that overwhelmingly, the majority of them said that most programs, only 10% of programs are knowingly cheating. Now, they went and you get a little specific comments from the coaches, and a couple of them, two or three of them said that 80% of the coaches in the SEC are knowingly cheating. So of that 10%, obviously 9 to 10% is in the SEC. That's the perception. Is it valid or is it not? And I've got a mosquito after me, I think.
Andy, I think that things go on in the background that it takes. Is it as prevalent as we probably in our mind make it out to be? I doubt it. People in today's world where it's instant access to all the information that you want, instant access, look at the presidential race, instant access to hackers or others that care enough, and there's enough rabid fan bases and rabid fans with very smart alumni that can find negative information if they so choose, and many would choose. So I think it's harder to do it. Do I think that 5-star kid A that has offers from Auburn and Alabama and Ole Miss may get some preferential treatment from one over the other? Probably. Do I think the SEC is the only place doing it? Doubtful. But look at what the SEC is pulling off here. Look at the competitive nature that is recruiting in the SEC. And look at the final recruiting standings year in and year out. What, 6 out of 10? 6 out of the top 10 are from the SEC? Well, I mean, the odds would be yes, because we're fighting for kids that everybody's fighting for. We're not fighting for the marginal 3-star.
No.
That other programs are. The marginal 3-star, you probably got another option out there that you at that point in time feels about as good as the one that you're going to go get. And then take a lot of cheating to get that kid. 5-star kid.
Well, it goes back to kind of what we're talking about, the overrated, underrated. I mean, it seems like either you believe that cheating is so rampant that, I mean, you'd just be shocked if you really knew the truth, or you think it's totally overblown. But I mean, it seems like people feel either one way or the other. Either it's totally overblown.
What do you feel?
I would like to feel like it's totally overblown. I probably do feel like if we really pulled back the curtain, we'd be like, I don't want to be a fan of this anymore.
And even if we pulled the curtain back, though, I'm not saying this in a negative way towards. I'm going to use my father here.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Auburn had a nice run with Cliff Ellis at basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing overly serious ever came out. There were just all these little nagging little things that you would hear in the background that Auburn was doing. I'll never forget when Auburn let Cliff Ellis go. My dad going, this has got to be the most ignorant thing we've ever done. I mean, we're competitive. We're not competitive every year, but we can sense it. We can sense that the talent base is a lot better now than it was.
Sure.
And we like the guy. And if he is remaining in the gray, and that gray is not just overly right out front, middle of you SMU cheating, then what are we doing? Because we're trying to compete. The goal is to compete, and if others are using this competitive advantage, then the only way that we're going to get our program up to a par where we're going to fill up 3/4 of this Coliseum is to get out there and do our fair share too. So that's what I'll throw back at you, is that we're wanting to compete, and we're wanting to bring kids in and hopefully do the right things with them. Once you get them to your program, every program believes that they are, or they wouldn't be doing it. I'm rambling, but that always goes through my head when I hear someone say, well, he may be doing this. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let me tell you, it's a lot better than having a conversation a month after the season and we were 3-8.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Well, hang out in the gray area.
We are up against our first break here. We're just getting started on the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown, brought to you by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. I want to thank them for their sponsorship of all of our Sports Blitz programming. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more right after this.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime at the all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Every new and pre-owned vehicle, just $1 down. Plus credit amnesty. Bring home $350 a week, get up to $30,000 in credit.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime.
10 acres, 1,000 vehicles, just $1 down.
Folks, you've just got to see this place.
The all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Call 800-NEXT-RIDE.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace. Smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
Ready to put some fun in your life? Whether it's Central or East Alabama, North Alabama, West Georgia, or wherever you're from, Fun Carts of Opelika is your authorized easy-go kart dealer that has no limits on a perfect easy-go kart. Whether it's a fully customized kart or a stock-made kart, we'll deliver it on time and at the best price. Fun Carts gives you the service after the sale, so no matter if it's hunting, tailgating, motorhoming, fleet rental, or just a better way to get around, Fun Carts of Opelika has it and will customize it to your needs. Visit us in Opelika or call us or visit online for the best easy-go carts. Put a little fun in your life with Fun Carts of Opelika.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control, celebrating our 10th anniversary. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
Hi, this is Quinn Harrelson with Interlink Mortgage in Auburn, Alabama. There are 1,000 different questions people ask me every day about mortgage loans. They ask about buying investment homes, primary homes, and even second homes at the lake or the beach. I only have a limited time to say, call me and let's talk about what you want and how I can help you get it. Again, win with Quinn and call me today at 256-675-6259 so I can help structure a mortgage that best fits you and your family's needs.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. Andy here. Andy Graham here with you until 9 o'clock. I'll be joined by Randy Lee in the next segment. But right now, we want to go to the phone line and welcome in our good friend Luke Robinson, as he is always seemingly in transit. Luke, how you doing?
I'm just driving along like every other day.
Well, Luke, you got something you want to talk a little bit about. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. Satterfield having a pretty big sale today.
Satterfield on Highway 280 in Alexander City, across from Tallapoosa Ford and right next to Home Depot. You can't miss it. They've got a huge inflatable big green egg out in front of their store. Go by there and check them out today between 8 and 12. This is a one-day thing. It's not going to happen every weekend, I promise you. This is a 25% off all grills in the store. That's big green eggs. That is Link and Blaze gas grills. this is a huge, huge sale. If you were thinking about a Big Green Egg for somebody for Christmas, absolutely the perfect time to go get one. There have been some sales before on Big Green Eggs and other items like links and blades, but I don't remember one where it was 25% off. And it's just a fantastic deal. If you really were thinking about something for Christmas, I know it's early, but Christmas gets here before you know it, and you know that your wife's going to go out shopping probably in September, so you're just beating her to the punch a little bit early. Just get to Satterfield Highway 280 today between 8 and 12. This is a one-day thing.
Absolutely. I can't beat that. 25% off a Big Green Egg or different kind of grills there at Satterfield across from Tallapoosa Ford. Luke, apparently Nick Saban's overrated.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. And then a friend of mine did the math on this. Okay, so there are 120, it may be 121, maybe 122 Division I teams, right? 1/5 of them participated in this poll. So that makes it what?
There was 130 that were polled, or there are 130. This is 1/5 of them.
Okay, 1/5 of those. So that would be what, 26? Is that right?
I think that sounds good to me.
Okay, so 26. Now, 48% of that 26 didn't respond to this question, so around 50%. So that means 13 did respond. Of those 13 that did respond, while yes, Nick Saban was considered the second most overrated coach behind Jim Harbaugh, he only got like 12% of the vote.
9.
In the 9%. Okay,
yeah.
So essentially, almost 2 coaches voted for Nick Saban.
Right.
So this is, first of all, this is the biggest non-story that's ever happened. And people have taken the numbers, the statistics that actually just lied. I mean, the statistics can lie. If you want to manipulate them any way you can, yes, it's right. Oh, my God, Nick Saban is the second most overrated coach according to his peers. No, really the answer is Nick Saban is the second most overrated coach according to 1.8 of his peers. And in the end, that it just makes it seem so stupid when you look at it that way. But besides the point, that it's stupid to consider him overrated anyway. I'm going to give you guys a shout out because I listen to Sports Call occasionally on the Daily Show that's out of Auburn, and you guys used to be a part of that. I just listen to it. That's my 4 o'clock thing, right? Well, there's a guy on there named Reed, and he's a host, and he is. If he were any more of a homer, he'd be Bart Simpson's daddy. He just loves him some Auburn football, and that's okay. I get it. But he and then Terry from Kowaliga, who is a pretty usual caller into our show occasionally, they basically said, Nick Saban's not a great coach. He's a very good coach. So I don't know who is a great coach then in their minds. There is not one. You can say, well, Nick said no other coach would have had a comeback on it. Well, coaches have comebacks on them all the time, every one of them. Well, he would have done well in the NFL. He went 9-7 and 6-10 with no quarterback. It's not like he went 0-16 both years. Going about 500 in the NFL usually gets you a raise. So, and Wayne Huizenga didn't push him out the door. Wayne Huizenga was really begging Nick Saban to stay. Nick Saban and his wife wanted to go back to college, essentially, and they just wanted to wait on the right opportunity. Fortunately, it was for Alabama. He's won 4 national championships since he's been at Alabama alone. He's won 3 straight SEC titles. He has beaten some of his main rivals, let's say, by Arkansas. He's beaten Arkansas by a total of 228 points since 2008. He's beaten Auburn by a total, I think, of 156 points since 2008. And, do the math yourself. He's beaten Auburn by almost 20 points a game. Yep, he lost one in 2010 by 1 point. Yep, he lost one in 2013 on one of the most crazy plays you will ever see in college football. Things happen. You're going to lose occasionally, and no matter how good you are. And Nick Saban's occasionally is much less frequent than everybody else's occasionally. And the other thing that bothers me that these same hosts kept talking about, well, anybody could coach, and also this poll talked about this. Anybody could coach with Nick Saban's talent, and I think that's true. I think that anybody could take any given team from Alabama from 2008 to 2016, and I think I'm going to say a vast majority of coaches in college football could have won a title with that one team. Here's the catch that makes Nick Saban so much better than them. No chance, no way, no how could they have maintained the greats. That's the problem. Getting to the top of the mountain is easier than staying on top of the mountain. And no team has ever entrenched themselves, in my generation at least, as the top of the mountain, like Alabama has entrenched themselves at the top of the mountain. By the way, they're doing it in the SEC, which is the greatest conference. I mean, self-proclaimed greatest conference, but I think that's very, very justified. And at a time when Auburn really has never had seasons like they've had, at a time when LSU was as good as I've ever seen them. Now, they were as good as I've ever seen them because Nick Saban started it, but that's still true. At a time when Florida is still, they're an awoken giant. So in the end, it's just so silly to me for somebody to say Nick Saban is overrated. It just tells me you don't like it. Well, if you just say that, okay. I mean, we can agree you don't like him. That's fine. I mean, you want to say he's a jerk? Hey, man, okay. I'm not going to argue with you for days about that. I have personally met him a few times, and I can tell you he's pretty nice in person. I can also tell you he contributes a lot to a lot of various charities, specifically his own Knicks kids, and he's given a lot back to the state of Alabama and to children in general. So I feel like, he probably, you could debunk the Nick Saban is always a jerk thing. Does he get out of line occasionally? Sure does. I mean, I don't know a good coach that doesn't. Did he say, I'm not leaving the Dolphins for Alabama? He sure did. I don't know a time that I've ever seen a Gus Malzahn press conference where he doesn't lie about something. He doesn't lie about somebody who's hurt, somebody who's playing, somebody who's not playing. That's coach speak. That's part. It goes with the game. It's like being a politician. You've got to lie sometimes. It's because people would be scared to death if they knew the truth. So, look, in the end, Nick Saban, in my opinion, is the greatest coach in college football history if he stopped right now. He's not stopping right now is the thing. He's going to have 4 or 5 more years, probably another 1 or 2 more titles, maybe another 3 or 4 more SEC titles, maybe another Heisman winner, something like that. And he's going to make it where even the people who want to call him overrated won't be able to do that anymore.
Feel better?
I do feel better. Thank you. This is very therapeutic.
Well, look, people. The argument is, and you brought it up. One of them is that one of the coaches supposedly was quoted as saying, if I bring a BB gun and he has a howitzer, he's going to win. And that's the argument. That Nick Saban's not the greatest X's and O's coach, but he's just got so much more talent than everybody else. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, okay, you could make that argument, but he's the one that built the team. It's not like he inherited this. So, I mean, coaching is X's and O's, but it's also recruiting. It's also development. It's also discipline. It's a lot of different factors, and he seems to have figured it out, a formula that, like you said, I mean, Randy and I were talking about, it's put together a consistent program, the likes of which, they've gone beyond. I used to compare it to Nebraska in that run they had in the mid-'90s, competing, winning 3 national championships, playing for 4 or 5, but they've gone beyond that now. So it's the most ridiculous argument there is.
I completely agree that I think a coach should walk in and do one. You know who did that? Larry Coker. He walked into a Miami team that was loaded for bear, and they just blew away everybody. And then what happened? Slowly but surely, his true talents showed themselves, and it eroded. And it eroded because he had no idea how to maintain what was already put in front of him. I mean, and then there are other coaches out there who can recruit. I mean, Urban Meyer is the closest to Nick Saban. He is the closest. But I would make, if you want to talk about somebody who's overrated, and again, I don't think Urban Meyer is overrated. I think he is rated appropriately. If he's the number 2 coach behind Nick Saban, that's true. But if you want to use this same logic, I mean, Urban Meyer's getting beat 31-0 by a Clemson team. I mean, when's the last time has the Nick Saban team lost by more than 14 since he's been at Alabama? I don't think so. The losses they've had, think about this, the losses Alabama's had since 2008. They lost to Tebow, who won the national championship and had a Heisman Trophy. They lost to Utah that year, who finished number 2 in the country, by the way, and undefeated. 2009, they didn't lose. In 10, They lost to a South Carolina team, this is the most inexcusable loss in that run, but they lost to a South Carolina team that did win for the only time ever the SEC East for them. They lost to an LSU team when LSU had as much talent as Alabama, and they played them on the road. And they lost to an Auburn team that won the national championship and had a Heisman Trophy winner. In 11, they lost to LSU once, but the LSU team went to the Southeastern Conference championship game, and they also repeat them in a rematch. Then in 2012, they lost the Heisman Trophy winner again in Johnny Manziel and blew everybody away. In 2013, they lost to an Auburn team on a unbelievably crazy last 5 minutes of action that just, Alabama couldn't kick a field goal and it cost them. And that team went on to play for a national championship. They then lost to an Oklahoma team that wasn't bad that year either. They won the Big 12, and they lost by 14 on a scoop and score late. In 15, they lost to an Ole Miss team when Alabama was driving late, and an incredible, unbelievable interception happens when O.J. Howard doesn't fight for the ball. And in 16, they lose to 14, they did that with Ole Miss. In 15, they lose Ole Miss again by 5 because the quarterback situation wasn't settled. And then Alabama makes up for it by winning the national championship. And then last year, they lose in 1 second against the eventual national champion and ACC champion, and the guy who probably should have won the Heisman Trophy, in Deshaun Watson. That's not a bad resume of, hey, show me your losses.
Well, as much fun as that little trip down memory lane was, and you know me, I laud Nick Saban with the best of them. I think we're up against a break.
All right, I could do this longer, Andy, if you want to.
I'd certainly let you could. Maybe Tuesday. I'll let you go again.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
You too. Thank you, Luke. Up against a break, but don't go anywhere. More Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
If you've ever wanted a Lexus, now is your opportunity at the Reinhardt Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. The time of the year to get savings on the Lexus you want. With extra inventory, the selection is better than ever. If you've ever wanted a Lexus, now is your opportunity at the Reinhardt Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. The time of the year to get savings on the Lexus you want. With extra inventory, the selection is better than ever on the most popular models. Save thousands with low monthly payments and special financing. Get 0% APR on the ES for 60 months. At Reinhardt Lexus, an opportunity like this only knocks once a year. So find your Lexus today at Reinhardt Lexus, where you'll feel like family.
Main Street Family Urgent Care.
Relief has a new address in Alexander City. Main Street Family Urgent Care is now open across from Walmart on Highway 280. From cuts, broken bones, strep throat, and flu, they can help you heal and feel better fast. Open 8 to 8 Monday through Friday, 8 to 6 on Saturday, and 1 to 6 on Sunday.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
TPE Power Equipment is now the trusted name for all your mower and power equipment needs. Whether it's our original Tallahassee location or Opelika location on Fredericks Road, we've got East Alabama covered with the best brands of mowers and power equipment from Husqvarna, Toro, Kawasaki, Echo, and Honda. Right now, get commercial strength Husqvarna zero-turn mowers with our fleet program that offers deep discounts, easy finance, and bonus handheld equipment in one solid package. TPE of Opelika and Tallahassee are the new standard of everything power equipment in East Alabama.
If you're not a race fan and I send you to Bristol, you're going to be a race fan when you leave.
The most popular track on the circuit.
Let me tell you, don't count that 88 out. He's pretty darn good.
Says goodbye to NASCAR's most popular driver.
Hell yeah!
The Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race, August 19th. Your last chance to see Junior run the night race.
Man, this is one of the biggest wins of my career.
Why is that?
It's Bristol, baby!
Homeowners all over Alabama have discovered that when you need your flooring clean, whether it's carpet, upholstery, or any manner of hard surfaces, there's no clean like Peaches and Clean. Serving Auburn, the Chattahoochee Valley, Montgomery, Birmingham, and the Lake Martin area. Call 866-837-6937, 866-837-6937, or visit peachesandclean.com. Caring for your floor and a whole lot more.
There's no clean like Peaches and Clean.
Heads up, we're going back to 77. Disco, bell-bottoms, and Ford F-Series starts its epic run as the best-selling trucks in America. Fast forward to 2017, F-Series is still king for 40 straight years. How? Rock-solid durability, up to the nanosecond technology, and jaw-dropping capability. No wonder the competition hasn't been number one since these. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 40 straight years.
Bucks Island is one of the oldest boat dealers in Alabama, serving boaters since 1948 with the largest boat showroom in the state. Bass boats featuring Skeeter, cruisers and sport boats featuring Monterey, pontoons featuring Crest, G3 and Voyagers, powered by Mercury and Yamaha. Bucks Island has sold over 10,000 boats and with a full service and parts and accessories department to keep your boat in top condition. Don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote. Visit Bucks Island on Highway 77 in Southside or online at bucksisland.com. Give them a call at 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island, where our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown, brought to you by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Andy and Randy here with you for about an hour and 25 more minutes. How about we do a little pick a side?
Okay.
All right. I will give you two topics or two things going on in the world of sports. You kind of pick one side, I'll take the other. You can choose whichever one you want.
Okay.
But convince me that you're right.
Okay.
Josh Rosen versus college football as we know it. He says academics and football do not mix.
I'm going to side with college football.
Okay.
And the reason is, yes, it's probably tough to mix both, but welcome to the real world.
Yeah.
I would love for Mr. Rosen to come to a day in the life of many friends of mine in the work world that you bounce from one thing to the next and you wake up the next morning and wonder what fire to put out there. And I think, and that's the reason I'm back in college football, I think having to be structured, having to be very disciplined on what you do, not only helps you academically, but it's going to help you in the future. And so, I back college football here. I mean, if you want to be, now do I think that the next Albert Einstein is going to be a football player, or it's best for him in his academia to go through the time crunch that football brings? Probably not, but doesn't mean that there aren't doctors created out of athletics and many others. So, how about you, Andy? I'd like to know what you think there.
I'm supposed to disagree with you.
Okay.
But I don't know if I can. I can't side with Josh Rosen.
Okay.
He seems like I don't know. I get it. There's you've got, you got workouts. You got your time is pretty much filled because then you've got, tremendous. You got your education. You got practice. You got all these different things. He brought up the point. He said, well, I was in this major. I couldn't take this class because it was only offered at this certain time, and because I had practice. Football won out. Now he'll get, he can take them sometime else, but that's just kind of the point. When it really comes down to it, athletics is going to trump education in this. And I get that a little bit, but when he's talking about, like you said, schedule, it's too much work. How many people do you know? How many people do we go to school with that were working almost full time and still going to school?
That's right.
Like you said, not out of school get a job. They had to work to put themselves through school. I would submit that that's as much as difficult, if not more so, than having. They call like working out work, but come on. What would you rather be doing? Working looking at serving burgers, or working in the assembly line, or in the gym? Come on.
You and I both agree here. Move on, or I can take a whole segment out on this. This is ridiculous. It's
All right.
almost like Nick Saban's overrated.
It is. All right, Blake Barnett / Cooper Bateman versus Nick Saban. They say lack of communication. They were not. He told them basically, or Barnett. He said, he told him he was the man, and he was shocked when Jalen Hurts. Not that he went into the game against USC, but he stayed into the game, and they feel like they were misled.
I'm going to side with the quarterbacks here, just because. How can you not? It's what they left feeling. Who am I to argue with them?
Yeah.
They thought enough, and these were Barnett being one. If he wasn't the top-rated quarterback in the country, he was one of the top few. So they thought enough of Alabama's program and Nick Saban to come there when everybody else wanted him. Everybody. He was the poster child. So he's not saying that he always thought that of Nick Saban. He's saying that after going through his program, that he felt like he was misled. You going to argue with him? I mean, this isn't an Auburn fan that grew up an Auburn fan that's talking poorly about Nick Saban. This is a guy that chose him over everyone else, and he left the program feeling that way. Is that bad towards Nick Saban? Nah, maybe not. I think that it's a dog-eat-dog world out there. And Blake Barnett had some miscues, but I'll say this, Jalen Hurts, first couple of plays he's in, he turns the football over. They put him right back out there and let him work his way through it. So I can see if I were in his shoes why that would upset me. I was thinking watching that game when Hurts turned the ball over, I said, man, it's just way too early. They're going to jerk him right out of there, and they didn't. Yeah. They hung with him, so that had to be a mental going into the game to know that they were going to do that.
Well, look, I'm going to go. I find myself in the unenviable position. I'm going to agree with Nick Saban in that. I agree they probably were misled, but you know what? Every quarterback is misled.
True.
Everybody is probably told you're the guy, and I think they mostly anticipated that he was going to be the guy. And did Nick Saban make the right choice? Clearly, he did. And his only interest is to do what's best for Alabama. So, boo-hoo, Mr. Barnett and Mr. Bateman. Deal with it.
I like this one, Andy. I haven't played this one. Okay. So go.
Butch Jones versus the hot seat. Is he on it or is he not?
It's got to be frying. And
back to back. Well, I'll save it. Go ahead.
That program, here is the reason I say it's got to be frying. I feel like Tennessee, if they're not, I can't get the perception of Tennessee in the 90s out of my head. Yeah. And I can't get the perception of Tennessee before the 90s out of my head, where they were uber competitive, one of the top programs in the country, going back to the Neyland days. And for Tennessee to have fallen where they are currently, and Butch Jones to almost feel like, I don't want to call him a TV pastor, but he's close to me. Am I wrong in thinking that he's a little bit of
he's got
a quality about him that it's like he's overly trying to get something across to you, that he's unable to go out there and present on game day Saturday. They cannot beat Alabama.
No.
Enough's
Not
enough.
Even close.
They can't even stay in the ballpark. When's the last time, and Auburn's nowhere near a rival of theirs, but Auburn hadn't lost to Tennessee in a game in 10 years.
Yeah.
If I'm a Tennessee fan, the writing's on the wall for me. They have let's just put it this way, if they win 8 games this year, man, he ain't getting them over the hump. I'm sorry. I'm fine, and I'm doing everything I can to get this program out of the cellar. And what do Tennessee fans think?
It's a good question. Look, I think I'm going to take the opposite and say, look, this is not the Tennessee program of the 90s. This is not the Tennessee program of the 80s. This is a program that has been mired in mediocrity for about 7 or 8 years now. And I mean, Butch comes in and inherits a 6-6 program. They've won back-to-back 9 wins. Now, is that good enough to pat yourself on the back? No. But who does Tennessee think they are? I mean, to be turning their nose up at nine wins back-to-back when they have been awful. So, if they go backwards, clearly if you win 5 games this year, something, that may be. But if you win 9 games again, if you win 8 games again, and maybe you're developing a young quarterback, I feel like his seat won't be fired. But maybe I'm off. I know Luke can't stand him, and you obviously don't have a great opinion of him.
I think he's mediocre.
Yeah.
I think he's no better.
That may be born out.
But there's a lot of mediocre coaches out there, and that's because there's a few that are just exceptional, and they make those that, without those few, would probably be a little better than mediocre. Right. But they have to compete with those few. And I'm not happy as a Tennessee fan getting thumped by Alabama every year.
Well, Tennessee was in the ball game. Was it? I don't know if it was last year, but it was the year before.
Year before, I believe.
Yeah, in Tuscaloosa. Was that in Tuscaloosa? Yeah, it was in Tuscaloosa, right? But one out of 5 years is not going to cut it.
We failed.
Yeah, we do. We're up against a break, but when we come back, we'll finish out. Pick a side. We got 3 more topics to get to, but so don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
If you've been putting off that new heating and air unit in your home because of the upfront expenses, Williams Plumbing of Alexander City now has primary financing from Synchrony and can now install brand new heating and cooling systems with 0 down, longer terms, and a competitive rate. Call Williams Plumbing at 256-329-8488 and get a free quote and terms and upgrade up to $35,000 in work with approved credit. Williams Plumbing stands behind their work with on-time affordable service for all your heating and air needs, as well as plumbing for 0 down financing and great service. Williams Plumbing.
When enjoying the lake this season, make sure to drop by Harbor Point Marina for all your gas, snacks, boating supplies, and beverage needs. Harbor Point also wants you to come see our remaining 2017 Crest pontoons, priced to move at all-season pricing. Harbor Point Crest sales have been tremendous, and they're ready to unload their remaining 2017 Crest Tritoons to make way for the 2018 order. Come see the best in pontoons at our 2017 season closeout prices. Act now because inventory is limited, and enjoy your new Crest pontoon this year. For all your own water needs and sacrifice pricing on Crest pontoons, get to the point. Harbor Point at Still Waters on Lake Martin.
Advantage is defined as a favorable or desirable circumstance or feature, a benefit, and that's just what you'll get with the Gills Auto Sales 5-Star Advantage. Gills Worry-Free Guarantee, a 30-month, 30,000-mile warranty on every vehicle, specialized maintenance from the area's top technicians, and free oil changes with each purchase. Flexible financing to fit any budget or credit situation. Convenience with 6 locations offering quick and easy approvals. And selection, the area's volume leader with over 400 vehicles in stock. There's only one place to get the 5-Star Advantage, and that's only at Gills.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here, or you can shop us online, only at Goree's Furniture.
Your express way to saving.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace, smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
Summertime means savings time during the summer clearance event at Bice Motors. Save over $8,200 on a great selection of loaded new 2017 Chrysler 200 Limiteds. Was $25,705, now $17,500. Need a truck? Bice has new 2017 Ram 1500 Quad Cab Express 4x2s for $299 a month.
Guaranteed lowest price, or we'll pay you the difference in price twice.
Don't miss the summer clearance event going on now. BiceChryslerDodge.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. Andy and Randy here with you for about 10 more minutes in the first hour of the program, but never fear, we'll be back with hour number 2. We're talking about pick a side, or playing a little pick a side. Let's go ahead and continue that. And we'll go with Jay Cutler versus Colin Kaepernick. The Miami Dolphins lose Tannehill for the season. It was announced, I think, he's going to have surgery. He will miss the entire season. So they go and pluck Jay Cutler, who retired and was planning a broadcasting career, out of the booth. We've never done a game, but metaphorically out of the booth. Is he a better fit? I mean, why would you go get him if Kaepernick's available?
Same money. I mean, I'm asking, if do I get to pay $10 million to Cutler and $10 million to Kaepernick?
Yes.
Cutler. Did you watch Kaepernick last year? I got caught up in it.
Did you?
Oh, man. You have got to create a system around that cat.
Yeah.
And he's athletic, has a strong arm, but has a Nick Marshall-esque arm. Where he's going, and the stats aren't sitting in front of me, so somebody don't send these stats over to me, but 55% completion percentage, something like that. Jay Cutler he's kind of become the nickelback of NFL. It's kind of funny to call him, a lot of negative things. But Jay Cutler, he can throw the football around. And I would take a risk on a guy that has a talent base and has stats to back him up. He's just played on some poor teams, but he's been very competitive at points in time in his career. But for Jay Cutler, I would take a chance hoping that I could Randall Cunningham it, or no Miami Hurricanes quarterback that had Testaverde towards the end of his career. Yeah, because Randall Cunningham, after the Eagles, struggled. But then he ends up on the Vikings, and man, he was wonderful. But the skill set. But Randall Cunningham had a wonderful arm and could put it where he wanted, and he was no longer the guy that he was at the Eagles. Buddy, he could throw it around. And I'll take my chances on a guy that can still go out there and wow throwing the football around, which I bet Jay Cutler can, in comparison to a guy that I'm about 100% certain is not a passer in the NFL, is never going to go 32 of 43 for 375 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He just is not that guy.
I can't argue. I mean, I think there is some history with the coach now in Miami that he was with Jay Cutler as an offensive coordinator. So, there's some history there. Like you said, look, Miami's not expecting to go to the Super Bowl. Let's just be honest. They're just hoping he can fill in so they can have an 8-win season. Because they're hoping not to lose, 14 games. That's their goal this year. And the best way to do that without distraction, you'll fork over $10 million for 1 year and let Jake, like you said, he can throw the ball. He's got a strong arm. He understands the verbiage. He can pick up the offense pretty quick. It's really kind of it's a kind of a no-brainer, really, isn't it?
Yes, to me.
Okay.
So other than that, we're having a race talk.
Yeah.
We're not talking football. If we want to have a racial talk, then let's have a racial talk. Let's don't talk football. Let's don't get out there and just defend Colin Kaepernick. pull up his stats from last year. Go watch him for the last 3 or 4 years and come up with a way that you want that guy. Football-wise, not kneeling, not any of that.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about when Harbaugh was there either. I don't want to see those stats. Jim Harbaugh, I guess the same two that picked Nick Saban and as overrated picked Jim Harbaugh.
Right.
Because has anybody seen the 49ers since that cat left? Come on now.
Not good.
Who would choose him as an overrated coach? That's a joke.
Yeah. Number one, by the way. We'll get to that. Playing in LeBron James' shadow versus being the star player. Kyrie.
This is easy. This is so simple. In basketball, if you aren't one of the 4 or 5, good luck. And Kyrie, look at his record before LeBron. And unless they get him someone else of his caliber, and they've got to be really good, they won't beat him. And so, yeah, go out and you're a top 20 player in the league. Where's Kyrie? Is he a 6, 7, 8 best point in the league?
I don't even know.
I
would say maybe 5.
Okay. 5th best point guard in the league.
Maybe.
Won 30 ball games a year before LeBron was there. Well, I mean, what was Cleveland? He was on there.
They were awful, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I bet you if LeBron, you can go put him on anything. They're going to win 60 ball games.
Sixers,
yeah. Oh, you go put him on the Sixers tomorrow. Oh, man, they'd be great.
Yeah.
But the Sixers are going to win 30 without him. So if you ask me, playing in LeBron James' shadow with an opportunity year in and year out to play in the NBA Finals and win, or go out there and for the same money, because you're going to be in the same money, I'd choose that.
Well, it comes down to, look, and I'm not going to begrudge you either way, but it comes down to, do you want to win championship? Does that mean something to you?
Yeah.
Or are you more interested in being the face of a franchise? More interested in people looking at you and saying, that guy is the best guy on the team. You get all the attention. You get the stars. You get the, I guess, maybe some more endorsements. So which is more important? Which are you more interested in? Winning or being all about yourself?
Well, he answered that.
He did, quite emphatically.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. I don't know what I would do. But if the money was the same, I think I want the hardware.
Me too.
But then again, I don't know. Maybe I'd like to be the star. Leonard Fournette versus NFL defenses. He says playing in the SEC, speed of the NFL, not really slower than he thought. It's kind of easy.
First off, he's built for this.
Yeah.
Everyone's known that since he was a freshman in high school.
Probably since he was 6.
Do I think he's going to just wow the NFL? No, but I think he's going to be serviceable and may have a long, good career, but he doesn't. I don't watch Leonard Fournette and go, man, oh man. There's Herschel. There's Bo. Have you ever watched Leonard and thought that?
No.
A couple of games he had where he was a standout, but several more where I look and I say that there's a lot of players on that Alabama defense that aren't going to be all pros in the NFL, and he got him 34 yards. So, do you ever remember? Did Herschel ever go for 34 in a game?
Maybe in Dallas.
Yeah, but in college ball, did he ever have a 34-yard game?
I doubt it. It's possible.
Alabama got Leonard 2 years in a row for that. So there's a whole bunch of Alabamas in the NFL. You don't get to play in the NFL on the defensive side of the ball unless you're that skilled player.
Right.
So I'm on a side with NFL defenses here.
Yeah, I think, like you said, I think he's one of those guys that I think clearly could be better in the NFL than he was in college. Just because he was hurt and there was always seemed like there was, something. going on. But you really turn him loose. This is what it's all about. You know, he's playing for money now, so I think he'll have a good year. I mean, could he lead the NFL in rushing this year? I think he could, because Jacksonville, I mean, he's got by all he got. I mean, so he's going to get the ball if he can stay healthy. But to come out and say it's kind of easy, I think people are going to they're going to take umbrage to that. And so they're going to try to prove that it's a little bit different than it is in preseason.
If he were running behind that Dallas Cowboys offensive line, Zeke goes out 6 games, Leonard Fournette says something like this, and what Elliott run for last year? 1,800, 2,000 yards. He was. I mean, I think he had almost 2,000 yards from scrimmage last year. And Fournette says this. Oh yeah, he's going to put on a show, but he's not there.
No.
I think whoever is the backup for the Cowboys for the first 6 weeks will get their fair share. I think they'll run the football. They were a great running team before Ezekiel Elliott. Have been, and the players that have moved away aren't what they were when they were at Dallas.
This is true.
I think it's more of the system and more of the line that you got in front of you. Otherwise, you're going to have 34 like he did against Alabama. Just get beat up. So we'll see.
We'll see. And that's how you play. Pick a side. We'll go ahead and take another break. We'll come back with more of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after these messages.
At U.S. AmeriBank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, U.S. AmeriBank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the U.S. AmeriBank difference. U.S. AmeriBank. Banking on values. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Jewelry by Design is Auburn's premier jeweler for over 20 years. Mark and Tammy Nelson invite you to see their unique selection of engagement rings, each crafted to be a one-of-a-kind masterpiece, custom designed with only natural premium diamonds that are never enhanced. Jewelry by Design is also your officially licensed Auburn University jeweler that handcrafts all of their Auburn jewelry as unique as your passion for the Auburn Tigers. For jewelry that's crafted to your style, visit Jewelry by Design on Dean Road in Auburn or online at jewelrybydesignauburn.com.
If you had $6,000, how would you spend it?
I'd pay bills.
How about a new car? Vacation!
At Hyundai of Auburn today, you can get the new car and do the other things.
What? How?
Pick out your dream car and drive away with as much as $6,000 to spend however you'd like.
America's best warranty and $6,000?
Luxury and $6,000.
Be thinking how to spend your $6,000. HyundaiofAuburn.com.
Vacation!
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life. Now is the best time to see the good guys the locals know, Alex City Marine. With last year being our best year yet, Landau Pontoons has increased Alex City Marine's allocation of Landaus for the 17 season. Our Suzuki outboard selections are at an all-time high. Alex City Marine is now also Lake Martin's exclusive Manitou pontoon dealer with a full line of the luxurious Manitou Tri-Toon with patented V-Tune technology for top performance. Get the best selection now of Landau and Manitou pontoons. Alex City Marine, Lake Martin.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. As the aforementioned overrated or underrated college football coaches. CBS Sports did a survey. This is Dennis Dodd, Chip Patterson, and Barrett Sallee. There are 130 active coaches in the FBS. One-fifth. Do the math, Randy.
Luke said 26. I'll stick with him.
Okay. Let's say 26 college football coaches were polled, giving their anonymous opinions about who they thought were the most underrated and the most overrated coaches among their peers. Most overrated, Jim Harbaugh, with 13% of the vote. Not a high percentage of that vote. 48% of the coaches chose not to answer this question, but Jim Harbaugh, number 1, Nick Saban, number 2, at 9%, Lane Kiffin, following at 9%, Brian Kelly at 4%, Tom Herman at 4%, Will Muschamp at 4%. Most underrated coach, Bill Snyder, with an overwhelming majority, 24%. Chris Peterson at 15%, David Cutcliffe at 10%, Ken Niumatalolo from Navy at 10%. And then there were 10 other coaches that rounded out the 41% divided among themselves. Jim Harbaugh, Nick Saban, atop the list of most overrated. I couldn't agree less with either of those.
All right, I'll start with most overrated.
Okay.
Would you agree that those two are probably the most hated coaches because of their success in college
Meyer's
football?
in there too, but yes.
Okay. So you think that's the reason for a few of those?
I think it is.
Okay.
There's some jealousy involved in that.
I agree
No
100%. Then we get into reality.
Okay.
After that, I don't think this poll's far off. Okay, I'll start with Lane Kiffin. First off, Lane Kiffin, I don't know if you noticed, he threw a tweet out there and said, boy, it's a pretty good group to be associated with. He had a picture of Nick Saban and Jim Harbaugh in it. I would agree. Lane Kiffin, as a head coach, has to be one of the most overrated coaches, if not the most overrated coach. He's a wonderful coach in general, I think. I think he's probably a brilliant X's and O's guy. For Nick Saban to hire that guy with all the turmoil that he brings, he has to wow you in a film room.
That's true.
He has to. But he is, as a leader, is humorously terrible.
You know how bad you've got to be for Al Davis to sit up there and say, he's a liar?
Yeah. That tells you a lot about him.
It's a lie.
And then it tells you a lot about what he did with the USC program. So I would agree there. Brian Kelly with Notre Dame. I don't agree. I think he's an okay coach. I think Notre Dame is not what they once were. Could Notre Dame go get Nick Saban and be that? Yeah. Oh, yeah. But he's been fairly successful there. So I don't agree with that. I think that that's a little bit more on the Jim Harbaugh, Nick Saban scale. People, no matter what, especially of our generation, don't like Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Just because we don't like Notre Dame. And it's worse in the Midwest. What Notre Dame was in the 80s and 90s when they took that giant leap ahead, they went back to what they were in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and now they're no longer that anymore. None of us look at them and say, oh my.
1988, last Heisman Trophy.
Tom Herman, Texas, okay. Who knows yet? We'll see. I don't care what he did at Houston. Don't bother me. Let's see if he can get Texas back to what we know that Jim Harbaugh and Nick Saban would. You put Jim Harbaugh and Nick Saban in Texas, good luck. You wouldn't want to play them. In 2 or 3 years, you wouldn't want to play them. Will Muschamp, 100% should be at the top, if not right directly under Lane Kiffin. Jake Bentley could change matters there. If Bentley's superb, if Bentley is Phillip Rivers-esque at NC State, and I think Bentley has a chance, I do, then we may not put Will Muschamp there. But boy, if he didn't luck into Bentley, we would, because they were going right down the chute last year. And he was able to come in and throw the football around a good bit there at the end of the season. Now, over on the most underrated, Coach, I'll let you start on this because I like this list.
Let me get this caveat. Let us take a break.
Okay.
And we'll come back and we'll do the underrated. Here's what the anonymous coach was quoted as saying about Will Muschamp. He's been in a couple of Cadillacs and he's wrecked them.
And it's really hard to wreck Florida.
So, it's like Charlie Weiss when he was at Notre Dame. He had to be the worst college head coach ever to keep getting on his feet. Like you've been saying that for a while. It's hard to screw up Florida, and he did. So we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll do the most underrated coaches in college football, at least according to this list. Don't go anywhere. More to come right after this.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
At US AmeriBank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, US AmeriBank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the US AmeriBank difference. US AmeriBank, banking on values. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control company for a generation, and now we're proud to announce our new name, EnviroCare. You can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs, and EnviroCare's exclusive Centricon termite colony elimination system that provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. The EnviroCare Centricon termite protection protects your home year-round. Call the professionals of EnviroCare throughout Central East Alabama. Call for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
A1 Four Seasons, a division of Jackson Refrigeration, is Central Alabama's Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer. With the summer months approaching, the temperatures are rising, and so will your power bill if you don't have one of the latest 410A heat pumps. With R22 Freon prices on the rise, now is the time to make the switch to a new, more efficient unit that will save you hundreds of dollars on your yearly power bill. Call A1 Four Seasons at 256-234-4457. What's behind the CA?
A world full of opportunities.
Where are you now? Where are you going?
Where do you want to be?
These are all important in determining your path in life.
More importantly, why be ordinary
when you can be extraordinary?
At Central Alabama Community College, you can be anything you wish to be.
Don't put your future on hold, and don't settle for less than excellence.
We are Central Alabama Community College.
Central to you.
Central to your success.
Ask what makes it the best 3 Series ever, and we'll tell you it has more advanced suspension and steering, or even more control of the road. And it's near perfectly balanced to put performance first. But ask if we're aware the competition mimics us just to keep up? No comment. The BMW 3 Series.
Visit BMW of Columbus on Whittlesey Boulevard or shop bmwofcolumbus.com.
Purchasing a new home is easier than you think, and America's Home Place can show you the way. For over 41 years, we've built thousands of homes for people just like you. We guide you through the entire process, from purchasing a lot, finding financial options, to putting the finishing touches on your beautiful new house. Come tour our showroom and see over 100 customizable floor plans. Visit us online at americashomeplace.com/TV for a free floor plan book. America's Home Place. We make building easy.
Now is the best time to see the good guys the locals know, Alex City Marine. With last year being our best year yet, Landau Pontoons has increased Alex City Marine's allocation of Landaus for the 17 season. Our Suzuki outboard selections are at an all-time high. Alex City Marine is now also Lake Martin's exclusive Manitou pontoon dealer with a full line of the luxurious Manitou Tri-Tune with patented V-Tune technology for top performance. Get the best selection now of Landau and Manitou pontoons. Alex City Marine, Lake Martin.
Whether it's a dream house or corporate real estate, Concrete has the skill, expertise, and talent to exceed your expectations. Trust Concrete to build a foundation for your future. Our work ethic and dedication are always in keeping the competition on their toes. We specialize in residential and commercial development in the Coosa, Talladega, and Shelby County areas. Call us today for your next project, 256-245-4211, or check us out on the web at con-crete.com.
There is a strength inside you, unknown and imperfect, waiting. And when you think you have nothing left to give, when each obstacle in your path is more formidable than the last, that's when you'll find it. And with that strength, your greatness will have no limits.
Summertime means savings time during the summer clearance event at Bice Motors. Save over $8,200 on a great selection of loaded new 2017 Chrysler 200 Limiteds. Was $25,705, now $17,500. Need a truck? Bice has new 2017 Ram 1500 Quad Cab Express 4x2s for $299 a month.
Guaranteed lowest price, or we'll pay you the difference in price twice.
Don't miss the summer clearance event going on now. BiceChryslerDodge.com.
And I know when I need it, I can count on you. Like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh.
You can count on the caring team at Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation. Our services include physical, speech, and occupational therapy. Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation, 256-329-9061.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown, brought to you by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Andy and Randy here with you for about 45 more minutes. We're looking at the most underrated and the most overrated college football coaches, at least according to CBS Sports, in an anonymous poll done by college football coaches. So Randy talked about the overrated coaches. I will run down the underrated coaches. Bill Snyder, number one. I think at this point, Bill's probably properly rated. I mean, I get it, but what he's done at Kansas State, we've talked about this. I remember having a conversation about this on Sports Call, talking about going through his record. I mean, you go back and you look at Kansas State's record, and they won about 7 games in about 50 years. And then he came on the scene, and they started winning 10 games a year. And then he retired to go spend time with his family. Then figured out he didn't like his family all that much, so he came back, and he won about 10 games. I mean, they went right back to where they were while he was gone. And, he's a really, really good football coach, and he's able to do it with junior college transfers. I mean, Kansas State, Manhattan, Kansas is not exactly a destination place. So I think Bill Snyder, it's a good call. He is probably, or he's always been kind of underrated. But, I mean, they got the stadium named after him. It's Bill Snyder Family Stadium. I mean, he's properly rated, I think, at this point. Now, this next guy, Chris Peterson, he was at Boise State forever. Now he's at Washington. He, has gotten probably the recognition that he's going to continue to get more with Washington being in the playoff last year. I expect them to probably contend for the Pac-12 title every year and make the playoff a little bit more regularly now. So he's always been my most underrated coach I know his name was, bandied about when Auburn was looking for a coach at times. But the next guy on here, the next two guys actually, I think those are right on the money. David Cutcliffe and Ken Niumatalolo. What he's done at Navy is remarkable almost. I mean, you look at the other service academies and how they've struggled. Well, Air Force really hasn't struggled, but Navy's won bowl games every year, it seems like. But Cutcliffe, I mean, what Ole Miss ought to be shot in the head for firing him for winning 9 games.
That's right.
I mean, he did a great job. I mean, he had them in position. They won 10 games. They were one inexplicably missed field goal away from going to Atlanta. And I guess, was that 03?
That sounds right.
And I mean, and he has a, I think they won 7 games or something like that the year after that. And they fired him. I mean, and he's done a tremendous job at Duke. They're competitive year in, year out. So I think this, Bill Snyder and Chris Peterson at this point in time, I think are probably properly rated, although Peterson should be mentioned every time you mention Jim Harbaugh and Urban Meyer for that matter. He doesn't belong in the Saban category, but nobody else does either. But Cutcliffe and Niumatalolo, I think those are great names on this list.
I cannot add anything to what you just said because I agree with all, and that's where I was going to go with it. These 4, and maybe I can come up with some more if I were to sit here and think, but those are 4 that I'd go, oh yeah, if somebody's not rating him high, he's underrated.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. Move on, my friend.
Chris Peterson, he's not at Alabama, USC, Ohio State, or Texas, but everywhere he goes, he makes an immediate impact. And that's what, that's kind of the deal. That if that's the mark against, if that's your only beef against Nick Saban is he's gone to a place and he's got a lot of talent in this. If you go anywhere and win, and you prove that you can do it on any level, at any place, that's the true mark of a great coach, I guess. So, anyway, we'll move on. Let's. You
want to take another break?
Why don't we?
Get ahead.
Take another break, because this next segment's going to take a little. I think we can stretch it out for a little bit more. So don't go anywhere. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with What's the Chances? Ooh, what's the chances? More to come right after this.
Lakeside Marina and Watercraft Rentals have spring fever and are happy to announce that Bennington is back. Lakeside Marina at Blue Creek is now Lake Martin's Bennington pontoon dealer with all models of Bennington pontoons that deliver speed, power, and stability with their elliptical sport packages and best-in-class styling and luxury. See the full line now for best selection as well as the all-new personal watercraft from Kawasaki. Lakeside Marina at Blue Creek, #1 for a reason. Lakeside Marina is also your authorized Easy Go kart dealer for Lake Martin.
Hi.
We're looking for insurance.
Let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a trusted choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Lyman Ward Military Academy is currently accepting applications for fall enrollment with cadets reporting on August 19th. New drone and STEM programs added to the curriculum for the 2017 and 18 school year. If you're looking for structure, one-on-one academic help, athletic excellence, as well as leadership training, Lyman Ward is the school for you. For more information, visit our website at lwma.org or call our admissions director, Wynn Fletcher, at 256-675-6269.
Did your team just win the big game? Are you looking for a unique way to honor a valuable employee? Lila's Engraving has you covered, offering a large selection of custom trophies and plaques. Lila's also offers cast aluminum car tags, custom engraved wine glasses, clocks, and wood cutting boards. They even offer custom framing for any art or picture as well. Lila's combines the best quality items with the fastest service around. With over 27 years of experience in the Alexander City and Lake Martin areas, Lila's Engraving is your only choice for custom awards and engraved gifts. Always remember, winners choose Lila's.
Whether it's a walk-off home run, a game-winning touchdown, or a buzzer beater, make sure Jay's Sports Grill is in your lineup. Located in downtown Sylacauga and a short drive from Highway 280, Jay's has the food you're looking for. Whether it's wings, fingers, burgers, or salads, they have it all. Come bring your family for a great meal, come hang out with your friends for the big game, or call them at 256-207-0700 to place your order. Make sure Jay's Sports Grill is in your lineup.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. Time for a little What's the Chances? Randy, what's the chances the Dodgers, I don't know if they won last night or not, I should have checked. They were 81-33 going into the game last night. I'm going to assume they won just because they've won a lot lately. But what's the chances the Dodgers break the all-time win record of 116 wins by the 06, that would be 1906 Cubs, and the 2001 Mariners? At least tie it or break it.
I'm going to say they're going for it.
They're on pace now for about 115. So
the way they're playing, the way that it's being talked about, you feel like it's a Golden State type of record where they're not going to slow up going into the finish line. So I don't know that 50-50 is fair to them. Seems unfair. But I'll say 50-50 because it would be great. I like the storyline.
It would be. And oddly, the Mariners didn't even make it to the World Series.
Yeah.
Didn't they lose to the White Sox? Am I remember that right?
And that's a long time.
It is a long time ago. Good grief, that was 16 years ago. 81-33. That just doesn't even look right next to a baseball.
Not normal.
I mean, it's crazy. And you know what? I think 4 or 5 of those losses for the Braves. How do you explain it?
Yeah, you don't.
You
watched them.
Braves
did you watch that second?
And the Braves are 2-13 versus the Phillies.
Last night, that second inning.
Oh yeah. I don't want to talk about it. What's the chances, Randall? Mitch Trubisky starts more games at quarterback for Chicago this season than Mike Glennon. A good debut in the preseason. Mike Glennon did not look good. Trubisky did.
I'll go because Chicago, and they will run a quarterback out as quick as they can. So I'll say a 75% chance.
75, okay. Pulling the red shirt off.
Pulling the red shirt off.
All right.
Because it is Mike Glennon that we're talking about.
And
where did Mike Glennon play college football?
Arizona State.
This is for you, I'm almost certain it's NC State.
Okay. Well, that's close.
Is he the 6'5", 6'6" guy?
Could be.
Well, so my point is that we don't know who Mike Glennon is.
This is true. But he's getting paid a lot of money. I mean, he was at Tampa Bay, right, as a backup to Winston?
I think he was at NC State.
Okay.
I think he was the quarterback at NC State when Russell Wilson left.
Okay.
That last year was because Glennon was taking over at quarterback.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
I'm going to defer to your wisdom. What's the chances Carmelo Anthony back in talks again with Houston and Kyrie Irving play for a new team next season?
Very good. I think Carmelo can say that he's going to stick with New York, but Carmelo he's got 2 or 3 years left where he can be a scorer, and gosh, I hope he ends up somewhere where we can see him playing in some serious minutes. Because
what if he goes to Houston? What does that do for them?
It helps.
You think they're a title contender?
Golden State is, if they can defend it all, they need some enforcers. They need some guys defensively that, and they can put that together. But last year, I mean, didn't they break, or they were on track to be right there with Golden State on three-point shooting?
Yeah.
I mean, they can score it, and Carmelo helps with that. The thing that always is a bit of a head-scratcher is Carmelo when it comes USA basketball time. He's a leader. He's a wonderful scorer in those contests. He's as good a scorer as anybody other than Durant. In meaningful, important games where the best players in the world are playing on the same team, and he's still one of the leading scorers. That tells you what type of skill set that guy's got. He just doesn't end up in good situations, and he doesn't do a lot. He doesn't do some things well, which keeps him from being able to take a team like a Michael Jordan or LeBron could and will them to victory. Something's missing there.
Yeah, he doesn't play defense, number one.
Well, that's probably part of it.
What's the chances Phil Mickelson ever wins another major? I struggle with how to phrase this because I almost said, what's the chances Phil Mickelson ever competes for another major again? But I'm not ready to go there yet.
You finish this one.
I'm going to say Phil Mickelson ever wins another major tournament.
I know this one is more for you. What do you think?
I'm going to say 15%. Because he hadn't made the cut in the last two. He is 46, 7. And this younger crowd has overtaken him. And that's just the way nature is. That's the way life is. But he's always going to be. He's going to be a Fred Couples type at Augusta. There's always. There'll be a time where he'll make a run, and I think he'll be in contention if he wants to be. At Augusta for 5 or 6 more years. Now he may not make the cut there, but ever so often I think he'll be able to compete there, but I think it's over. What do you think?
I think it's over. I think 15%'s you hoping. I think that's high.
Yeah, I think that's high. You would put it about 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I would put it about 2 percentage points higher than Tiger. And Tiger would be.
Tiger's 0.
So I'd give him 2%.
2%. I think that's probably about right. What's the chances John Franklin catches 20 or more passes this season?
I don't think there's. I'm going to go 0.
Ooh.
I hope I'm wrong. And I do think that maybe they'll find a way to get the ball in his hands. I don't know.
If he doesn't, it's not like it has that big of a effect.
And I don't mean that in a negative way towards him. I mean that in a way that I hope Nate Craig Myers and Kyle Davis catch 50-plus balls apiece.
Right.
So there's not a lot to go around. They, to me, are the top 2 guys, with Nate Craig Myers hopefully being by far the top guy. So 20 balls would mean if you're spreading it around, you'd have to throw the football a whole lot. And
are we going to throw it 35 times or more a game?
I hope, but I doubt it.
I'd
have to see it to believe it.
Yeah. Because then we're only completing 20, 25 at most. So you're talking about 25 receptions a game. There's just not a lot to go around.
That's what
yeah. So, like you say.
What do you think?
I think you're right.
Okay.
There's little to no chance that's going to happen. But maybe he can catch 15 and for about 400 yards. Maybe he's getting bang for the buck. Getting 20 yards a pop because he's catching a lot of deep balls. But I don't know. We'll see. What's the chances Randy Lee Jr. the third will pay money to watch the McGregor-Mayweather fight?
0. Less than 0. Whatever.
What's the chances he will watch the fight at all?
0. Unless a group of my friends are having are having a get together where it sounds good enough that my wife's up for it and we actually end up over there. Otherwise, I will be asleep. No question, whenever this fight's going on. And do I think it's going to be a fight? No, sir. No, sir, it's not. No, not even like joking. It'd be the same way if Mayweather were fighting McGregor in the opposite style. I mean, he'd choke him out in the first 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And they're two totally different things here. So Mayweather is going to make him look foolish. Very foolish.
They can knock him out?
I don't know if he will, but he'll outscore him 5-1.
Yeah.
He'll land 5 times the amount of punches that McGregor does. This is a humorous joke. Boxing's a sport too. It's not just choking somebody out or knocking them out or putting them on the floor. I mean, that's the beauty of Mayweather, is that when you look at the points, you go, man, this was a mutilation that I didn't even notice in my eyes. But once they started calculating this thing, this guy just mutilated that poor guy across from him. It'll happen worse than ever in this one.
0% chance.
None. No. Unless, and Mayweather's so good defensively. I mean, I can't imagine that someone that's not a boxer, i.e. McGregor, gets a shot in. That's the only thing everybody says. Boy, watch this knockout punch right here. I'm like, yeah. But this guy ain't even a boxer.
Yeah, try to hit this shadow over here.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you play What's the Chances. We'll be back with more of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Hi, this is Quinn Harrelson with Interlink Mortgage in Auburn, Alabama. There are 1,000 different questions people ask me every day about mortgage loans. They ask about buying investment homes, primary homes, and even second homes at the lake or the beach. I only have a limited time to say, call me and let's talk about what you want and how I can help you get it. Again, win with Quinn and call me today at 256-675-6259 so I can help structure a mortgage that best fits you and your family's needs.
Purchasing a new home is easier than you think, and America's Home Place can show you the way. For over 41 years, we've built thousands of homes for people just like you. We guide you through the entire process, from purchasing a lot, finding financial options, to putting the finishing touches on your beautiful new house. Come tour our showroom and see over 100 customizable floor plans. Visit us online at americashomeplace.com/TV for a free floor plan book. America's Home Place. We make building easy.
Your comfort is our #1 concern. Advanced Heat and Air.
Advanced Heating and Air makes your comfort their priority for any season. Advanced Heating and Air is the region's train dealer and an Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer that can save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Advanced Heating and Air maintains the region's best service team, so rely on us to make your comfort our #1 concern. Call 234-5052, and we're there for you.
Show Enough Barbecue. Since 1990, we've been serving you the finest barbecue in Alexander City. Gerald believes in cooking fresh meat daily, and the secret to that is, I'm not going to tell you. Show Enough is just not about barbecue, but also known for fresh vegetables and homemade pies. That's where I come in. I'm Linda Sanford, better known as the Pie Lady. We also do catering. For more information, give us a call at 234-7675.
Hello, I'm Harvey B. Campbell Jr., the manager and founding partner of Alabama Consumer Law, LLC. We are a law firm dedicated to helping you, the consumer, from all kind of debt issues. We can handle Chapter 13s, Chapter 7s, and Chapter 12s, and Chapter 11s if you need help.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers. We are a debt relief agency. We are a private company. We are not associated with any state or federal government agency.
Gotta
get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance, you got to get to Gills. Selection and price, got to get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills. Cars that fit your budget. Service that no one around can beat. Stop by today and test drive the vehicle of your dreams. Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance you. Gotta get to Gills. Selection and price. Gotta get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. About 20 more minutes left in today's program. Randy Lee has scurried off again. And we'll go to the phone line and welcome in our good friend Brett Pritchard. Brett, how you doing today?
I'm good, Andy. How's it going this morning?
Doing really well. Well, just kind of give us a little – you've been up in Minnesota here lately doing a little fishing or doing a little coaching anyway with the CACC fishing team. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, our fishing team had the opportunity to qualify for the national championship up in a little bitty small place called Bemidji, Minnesota. How about that? But actually, it's about the same size as Alexander City. It's about 15,000 people. It's beautiful up here. Tons of lakes. Obviously, Minnesota is known for the land of 10,000 lakes, and it really is. There are lakes everywhere, and just the weather's beautiful. Andy, it really. Luke called in last week and was talking about the weather in Ohio to me and you and how it feels like it's time to kick a football off and everything's green. And that's the way it is up here in Minnesota and Illinois and all this area here. It's just the air's crisp. It's about 48, 49 in the morning. It warms up to a balmy 72 degrees during the day, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful area, and the weather's beautiful. So. But we've been up here, Stuart Ward and Hunter Ward, the two that qualified for us, really had a good tournament. 90 boats in this tournament. They ended up finishing 39th out of 90. Our program's a year and a half old, so I'm extremely proud of how they competed and what they were able to accomplish. They were in 27th after the first day. Now, I want to remind everybody that we're competing against all the major universities in the country, too. So the Auburns, the Alabamas, the Floridas, the LSUs, the Clemsons of the world, we're all sandwiched in there together. There are no separation of division. So I'm really proud of those two guys. We'll have them back next year, so definitely helps me out as far as, strength coming back for the team. And we've got a lot of other good returning anglers, and we got a lot of new guys coming in as well. So I really expect our fishing program to continue to get bigger and stronger.
Well, that all sounds great. Wonderful. Congratulations to them, 39th. That's a great showing for a young program. Let's talk a little bit about Auburn football, Brett. Auburn scrimmaging today. Still questions about maybe the quarterback. I think everybody still assumes it's Jarrett Stidham's job to lose, but with Gus Malzahn, I guess you never know.
I talked on the show about, I can't remember if it was Tuesday or Wednesday. All my days have run together, been on the road. But I was on Gary Harris's show up in Tuscaloosa and talking about the scrimmage, the first scrimmage of fall, and really how disappointed a lot of people were in Jarrett Stidham's performance. And, Randy, frankly, I didn't think we'd be talking about a quarterback controversy this close to the start of football season, but here we are again in a situation where we don't have a quarterback name. I'm all about the coach speak and as far as competition is concerned, making somebody better. Sean White had a decent day. Jarrett Stidham did not. Now, why is that? We don't know. Now, today, Jarrett Stidham may light the woods on fire. I think he did a really good job in the 8A game. He showed how accurate he was with the passing that he was able to make in the intermediary range, the 15 to 20-yard range, and he also has a big arm and a deep threat that can challenge defenses over the top. So he's the athletic type guy that can really give you a lot of options on offense. Sean White, as I told Gary, earlier in the week. You know, this kid, when he's healthy, is a gritty performer and has won football games and has proven he's an SEC caliber quarterback. But the problem with Sean White is he hasn't been reliable because he's been banged up his whole career. So I think obviously as a coach, Andy, you want to try to get to a starter as quick as possible, but you don't want to rush and make the wrong decision. I think that everybody feels like it'll be Jarrett Stidham. I still feel like it'll be Jarrett Stidham. I really don't think there's any debate here. You can't go off of what one guy does in one scrimmage. Now, if he comes back today and stinks it up and, continues to not play well, then there'll be some reason for concern. But Jarrett Stidham is a very talented guy, and I think Auburn's hopes on having a really good season ride on his shoulders. And maybe he started to feel a little bit of that pressure in that first scrimmage. So hopefully, as a coach, you can get to a starter as quick as possible for team chemistry and starting to really get reps with one guy moving into the season.
Well, Auburn made a lot of strides defensively last year, although now you lose Montravius Adams. You lose Carl Lawson off that defensive line. Do you think that Auburn has the ability, if not the expectation, to be even better this year than they were last year?
Yeah, there's no doubt. And I think it starts in the secondary, Andy. Some guys like Trey Matthews and Carlton Davis coming back, along with some of the other guys that are going to be stepping in. Auburn really expects to be good back there. I think our linebacker play improved to 200% last year from the years previous. And those guys are back, and they're going to get better, and you're going to add guys like C.D. Moultrie in and some of the other guys that Auburn was able to recruit that are really going to have an impact, I think, early as freshmen. And that defensive front, I mean, obviously losing Montravius Adams and Carl Lawson are big blows, but you got guys like Derek Brown and Dontavius Russell and Marlon Davidson, who was just an absolute freak of nature last year as a freshman, who everybody has said can't be blocked. Now, he'll be playing with a club on his hand this year because of a fracture, but I'll take Marlon Davidson with two clubs on both hands because that's just the kind of player he is. And I think Auburn's going to be really good up front and has established a lot of depth. And Kevin Steele got something out of that defense that a lot of defensive coordinators have not been able to do, and that's a lot of production, and that's to the point where Auburn was 7th in scoring defense nationally last year. So I expect Auburn to play as good or better on defense, and if you can get some continuity and really be versatile on offense and be a challenge to throw the ball, that running game Auburn's got coming back, they could really be dangerous this year.
All right, one final question, Brett. Which do you find more troubling? That if Jarrett Stidham is not named the starter after the scrimmage today, or that Auburn is going to pay $1.9 million to UMass for a game in 2020?
I'll say for right now purposes and not looking ahead to 2020, I would say not naming Jarrett Stidham the starter, maybe not necessarily after this scrimmage, but sooner rather than later. I think the longer this thing drags on, the more the media is going to grab hold to it, and the more that uncertainty is going to creep in. And I think it's just, if you're looking at what the doctor ordered, for us not to have to go back down this path again is to name Jarrett Stidham the starter. But again, if he's coming in here and he's not performing well, and Gus Malzahn feels like he can't name him, I think Auburn's got a problem.
I would tend to agree with you, and I hope that's not the case. So, Brett, want you be careful. Really appreciate you calling in. You take it easy today.
Thank you, Andy. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, sounds good. Up against another break here, but don't go anywhere. More, at least one final segment of Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
My parents saved a bunch of money on their new car. My dad said we got a better car for less money.
My mom's wildly happy.
We even saved enough to get a new swing set. This saving money thing is really cool.
And right now, during the Honda Summerbration sales event at Sarah Honda, get model year-end clearance pricing on all remaining 2017s. Save up to $3,100 off MSRP. Visit us today at Sarah Honda of Sylacauga.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control, celebrating our 10th anniversary. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
Hey, it's Steve from the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn, and after 10 years of serving the good people of East Alabama and West Georgia, we're still doing business the same way, offering the best products at the best prices with the area's best warranties and installing them with the area's best technicians. With great customer service, a knowledgeable sales staff, and our commitment to customer satisfaction, along with the best selection of the latest technology in the industry, there's no reason to shop anywhere else. Shop with confidence. Shop at the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn.
When you're born, you're really young. You're like 0 years old. My grandma tells me to quit growing up so fast. But what can I do about it? My mom keeps throwing me birthday parties.
Russell Medical, comprehensive care in your corner of the world.
Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. At Walls, you'll find a dedicated staff offering top quality service from routine maintenance to a full engine overhaul and everything in between. Brian Walls and the folks at Walls Tire are local folks that you know, and they provide the best service always at a fair price. Find out what the rest of the Lake Martin area already knows. Walls Tire is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. Just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of this morning's show. We will finish it out like we do most with a little rank 'em. I will give you this in honor of Glenn Campbell, who passed away this week. Rank these songs. This is not going to be easy.
No.
Wichita Lineman, Galveston, Rhinestone Cowboy, By the Time I Get to Phoenix, Gentle on My Mind.
Okay.
Rank them.
Number 1. By the Time I Get to Phoenix.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's a little bit of a surprise.
Wichita Lineman 2, Galveston 3, Gentle on My Mind 4, and Rhinestone Cowboy 5.
Okay.
But I'm prone to going against the grain because Rhinestone Cowboy would be tops on this list of probably listened to, if not purchased. Wouldn't you agree?
I would think so.
But By the Time I Get to Phoenix,
that's
it
good.
gets no better.
I would go Galveston.
Okay.
Wichita Lineman, By the Time I Get to Phoenix, Gentle on My Mind, Rhinestone Cowboy.
Okay.
I would agree. I would pretty close. Outback, Longhorn, Logan's, Western Sizzling, Ponderosa. Number 1, have you eaten at all these places?
No.
No.
Not the Ponderosa. Have you ever eaten at the Ponderosa?
I've eaten at a Ponderosa.
Where?
I think in right outside of Auburn, maybe in LaGrange-ish, heading out toward on the interstate. There used to be one out there. It may not be out there anymore. You don't find many Ponderosas anymore.
No. Okay. So.
But
the rest I have yes.
Eaten at one. These are middle of the road. Well, I don't know. I guess middle of the road would probably be about right. steakhouses?
Yeah. Chains.
Chains.
I'm going to go with one Outback. I like Outback.
Yeah.
Longhorn, Western Sizzlin', Logan's, and Ponderosa, because I have no other way to know what
No
Ponderosa
frame of
is.
reference.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. The Western Sizzlin' we used to have here, they had a steak sandwich that was so good.
You know what?
So good.
And
And
this
the one
was
in Opelika doesn't have one.
the old deal. Tell me if you remember this. When you played Dixie Youth Baseball here in Alexander City, if you hit a home run, the Dixie Youth Baseball program would give you a free steak sandwich meal at Western Sizzlin'.
Is that right?
That's right. Do you not? Did
I
they
did.
have that?
I don't remember that.
So, if you had a pretty good year, and I remember, steak sandwich meals, like if Craig and I had a good year,
Yeah.
we'd be at Western
Full of it.
Sizzlin' a lot. And I can't be the only one that remembers
Oh,
that. But
well,
yeah,
that-
you get a free steak
that?
sandwich meal certificate if you hit a home run.
How about that? Here we go. One-hit wonders. You're a music man. 99 Luftballons, or red balloons for all you non-Germans. Take on Me, Tainted Love, Ice Ice Baby, and Kung Fu Fighting by Carl Douglas.
Take on Me, number one. I'm going Ice Ice Baby, number two, just because I'm a 90s guy.
Yeah.
You can pick at me, but it's still wonderful.
I agree.
Tainted Love, 99 Luftballons, because Kung Fu Fighting, no thank you.
You don't like that?
All right.
Everybody was Kung Fu.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's for a TV show.
It is.
I'm not counting that music. It's an intro.
Take on Me, number one, of course. I'm going to go with Luftballons, number two.
Okay.
Just, I like that. I like Nana, too. Ice Ice Baby. I love Tainted Love. And I would put Kung Fu Fighting fourth as well. Bruce Willis movies. Die Hard, Pulp Fiction, The Sixth Sense, Armageddon, The Last Boy Scout rank.
The Sixth Sense, one. Did you like it?
I did, very much.
Okay. That one, Die Hard. Two, Die Hard 1, the first one. It gets old after that. But the first one, 2. The Last Boy Scout, 3.
I like that movie.
I do too. I mean, I don't like it to the point where you're going to throw it at number 1, but I don't mind
I'm
it.
not going to put it at number 1.
Pulp Fiction, 4, and Armageddon, 5.
I liked Armageddon.
I liked it okay. But
He said, the guy called Bruce in The Last Boy Scout, and he said, hey, what are you up to this weekend? He said, I'm thinking about smoking some cigarettes. He said, can you postpone? He said, no, these are pretty good cigarettes. There's just lines like that all through it. I love it. I will go Die Hard, Pulp Fiction, The Last Boy Scout, The Sixth Sense, Armageddon.
Okay.
Pulp Fiction is a really interesting movie.
Yeah.
Finally, just fun games, arcade-ish. Darts, ping pong, foosball, air hockey, pool.
Pool.
You're a 9-ball guy, right?
Not very good at either, but
Aye.
I don't mind playing it. Darts.
Love playing darts.
Ping pong, air hockey, and then whatever that thing is, foosball.
Yeah, I was never big. I would go darts, number 1, air hockey, number 2, pool, number 3, ping pong, and then foosball.
Okay.
I used to love throw darts.
I know we're up against close.
We are up against the close of the show. It has been fun.
You looking
Our
forward
rare
to you
time
think
together.
Auburn names a starter today?
I will say tomorrow.
Okay.
We will name a starter tomorrow. And hopefully that will be Jarrett Stidham. For Randy Lee, I'm Andy Graham saying so long for now. We'll talk again soon.
What value would you gain working with Lee Marketing Group?
With 4 divisions under one umbrella, Sign Source, Lee Apparel, R&B Media, and LMG Baker Advertising Agency, Lee Marketing Group offers a comprehensive approach. From logo design and branding to ad placement and everything in between, LMG can handle it all. For ease of time, cutting edge, results-driven marketing campaigns, think LMG. Lee Marketing Group, your comprehensive marketing solution.
Your comfort is our #1 concern. Advanced Heat and Air.
Advanced Heating and Air makes your comfort their priority for any season. Advanced Heating and Air is the region's Trane dealer and an Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer that can save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Advanced Heating and Air maintains the region's best service team, so rely on us to make your comfort our #1 concern. Call 234-5052, and we're there for you.
Lake Area Realty is Lake Martin's Century 21 real estate company that proudly serves all the Lake Martin area. Rhonda Gaskin and her staff of caring professional realtors offer full sales for buyers and sellers in the area and can even help you with finding rentals or managing your current property. Whether it's your dream lake home, waterfront property, area family home in town, or just a starter home, Lake Area Realty can handle it all and advise you on all your needs. Buying and selling real estate is important to the professionals at Century 21. Lake Area Realty are your friends in real estate. Call or visit lakearearealty.net.
If you had $6,000, how would you spend it?
I'd pay bills.
How about a new car?
Vacation!
At Hyundai of Auburn today, you can get the new car and do the other things.
What? How?
Pick out your dream car and drive away with as much as $6,000 to spend however you'd like.
America's best warranty and $6,000?
Luxury and $6,000.
Be thinking how to spend your $6,000. HyundaiofAuburn.com.
Vacation!
The door's open, the beer's cold, and the biscuits are hot at Fosch's